Welcome to 2230. Today, we are diving into a critical issue that demands attention and understanding: the crisis in Xinjiang, China. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Xinjiang, China's largest province, has been in the spotlight due to the Chinese government's actions targeting its Muslim minority population, primarily the Uyghurs. Let's break down the situation. 1. Detentions and human rights abuses. Since 2017, the Chinese government has been conducting mass detentions under the guise of an anti-terrorism policy. Reports indicate that over 1 million people, mostly Uyghurs, have been detained in camps where allegations of widespread abuses, including violence, rape, and political indoctrination, have surfaced. 2. International concern. The United States has branded this program as a genocide, and the United Nations has suggested it may constitute crimes against humanity. These concerns have led to global calls for action. 3. Lack of transparency. China has never disclosed the identities of most detainees, referring to the facilities as vocational schools. They claim that all attendees graduated in 2019. However, human rights campaigners, scholars, and Uyghurs overseas have detailed thousands of individual cases, many based on leaked government documents. Now, let's focus on an individual story to humanize the crisis. Abdulkahar Abidallah, a husband, father, and imam in his late 30s, Abdulkahar vanished into police custody in 2016. He is identified in leaked records, and his case has been publicized by advocacy groups like Amnesty International and Uyghurs outside China. According to a relative overseas, who spoke to AFP, Abdulkahar was ordered to return to Yarkand in late 2016 for what seemed like routine questioning. However, he was spirited into the detention system, and his associates outside China lost touch as the campaign gathered pace. The relative stated that Abdulkahar had been sentenced to 15 years in prison for religious crimes. Yet, no explanation for the sentence was provided by the Chinese government. The relative emphasized that Abdulkahar was a peaceful individual who never engaged in illegal activities. The impact of these detentions extends to families. In Boston, so many men were taken that Abdulkahar's mother had to be buried in her backyard for lack of people to bear her coffin to the cemetery. His wife was also detained, and his 4 children were taken into state care. Despite efforts by news agencies like AFP, verifying the location, sentence, and condition of detainees remains challenging. The interference by local individuals and authorities hinders transparency. 1. Continued detention camp operations. Despite claims that most detainees graduated in 2019, reports suggest that some facilities, identified as detention camps, continue to operate with high security measures. 2. Forced labor. There are allegations of detainees being pushed into a forced labor system that exports goods globally, raising concerns about human rights violations in the global supply chain. The international community continues to express concern and demand accountability for the situation in Xinjiang. Scholars like James Millward argue that efforts to assimilate ethnic minorities persist, erasing their cultural autonomy. It's vital to stay informed about issues like the Xinjiang crisis and advocate for justice and human rights. Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to 2230 for more informative content on global issues.